there, this is Sarah from Great Days by Sarah, and today I'll be taking you through a yoga flow with a focus on the sides of our body, these awesome muscles known as our obliques. These muscles help us bend, flex, twist, and really detox the internal organs of our body, but most importantly, they help stabilize the muscles of the back. So if you're having back pain, this is a great workout to do so you can make these obliques stronger so your back muscles can work a little bit less. We'll get started today in child's pose. Find your toes together, knees as wide as you need them apart. Walk your hands out in front. Forehead goes towards the mat. If it doesn't make it there, bring your hands in, bring the floor to you. Start to connect with your breath. And if it's possible, focus on your ujjayi breathing today, that in through the nose, out through the nose with a slight constriction in your throat, making that deep ocean sound. If that's not right for you today, just focus on taking deep inhales and deep exhales throughout practice. We just don't want to hold our breath. If your head is stacked on your hands, walk your hands back out and then walk them over to the right. Feel a deep stretch through your left side. And then ever so carefully walk them back to the center and then over to the right. As with all our practices, if it doesn't feel good, slowly back out and move into something that's more comfortable. You want your obliques to work today, but you don't want to experience back pain or side pain or any pain for that matter. Walk them back out front, one deep breath. If you're one to set an intention, now is a great time to do so. Inhale, focus on that intention, and exhale. Walk your hands out in front, bring your knees underneath your hips, and go into one-sided bird dogs. Reach your right hand out, shoulder height, thumb towards the ceiling, left foot goes back, strong flex through your left foot. Just hold here for a moment, let your body adjust. And then we'll inhale, lift slightly. Exhale, bring your knee towards your elbow. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. And just as slow, really focused and controlled, reach it right back out. We're going to do two more just like that. Notice how slow this pace is. Already starting to feel those abdominal muscles work. Last one. Back to the hold, don't drop it right away. Shoulder height, hip height for 3, 2, and 1. Set it down slowly. And reach your left arm forward. Move my prop a little bit. Right leg goes back. Strong flex through your foot. Hold here just for a moment. Notice your core turn on. And then lift up slightly. And bring your knee towards your elbow. They don't need to touch. And if they can, great. Slow to the top. And exhale brings you together. Pressing through all 5 fingers of your right hand. Last one together. And up we hold. Gazes forward. 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knee. Send yourself back into a downward facing dog. Slight bend to your knees, especially to start. If you're just starting your day. Pedal out your feet. Maybe shift your hips side to side. Whatever feels good, find the movement. And then when you're ready, find the stillness. Downward facing dog. Upside down letter V with your body. On your next inhale, maybe you need to bend your knees a little bit more. I definitely do with my hamstrings the way they are these days. Walk your hands in just about one hand distance. And then we're going to take our right hand and reach it towards the outside of our left leg. Now maybe that means you can reach the outside of your foot, your calf, maybe it's only your thigh. Just finding a twist. Doesn't matter where your hand lands, but let it guide so you peek underneath this left arm. Reset it into this short down dog. Another side, left hand lifts. Find where you can reach and then take a peek. Starting to open up your shoulders. Still focused on that breath. And release it. Walk it back out into your regular downward facing dog. And then on your inhale, slide yourself into plank. Adjust if you need to. I'm a little short. I'm going to move my hands out so my wrists are underneath my shoulders. And then I'm going to lift opposite foot and opposite hand. This is a challenge. I'm going to start with my foot. I'm going to move it back as in a little kickstand. I'm going to move my hand forward also in a little kickstand. And then ever so slightly, I'm going to try to lift. Just an inch, maybe two. Maybe more. Maybe I lift up shoulder height, hip height, and then lower slow. Try two more on your own, shifting that weight and keeping your core tight. Drop it to your knees for a second. Roll out your wrists. If you need to modify this too, you can always put your opposite knee down. But I encourage you to try it, even if you can just lift for 1 second. Back into this plank. I like to start with my kickstand foot, and then kickstand my hand. And maybe here's enough. I feel this immediately. Maybe you lift up one, and then the other. Maybe you can lift both, just a tiny bit. This is definitely my weaker side. I can feel my left obliques kicking in already. Maybe you lift up. Try to keep your hips low, and lower down. Drop your knees. Quick child's pose. Couple breaths. And then make your way back into a downward facing dog. Two breaths here. Send your hips high. Then drop your knees once again and find a comfortable seat on the mat. Don't worry, we're not done. We're going to start with a seated twist in this posture. Now, if you have your let's have your left foot straight, your right foot tucks over. Grab this tucked leg and just give it a squeeze for 1 second. Strong flex through this left front foot. And then add a twist. And maybe you still hold the leg. If you have a little bit more flexibility, maybe your outside, your elbow presses on this leg. Now here's your challenge. Wherever you are, stop using your leg as leverage. Sit up tall, let your hands go, and reach opposite. So our goal is to have our shoulders facing this right side, but you can feel your core working. Straighten through your back for 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Shake out your legs for a minute, then right leg lifts forward. Left one crosses over. Squeeze your leg in just for a moment. Then we'll find the posture first. Sit up tall. Maybe you stay here with a twist. This way always feels a little bit better to me. But if you want a little bit more, elbow to your knee, twisting a little bit further. Use the assist to start. Use the leverage. Now we're gonna let it go. Release that elbow, release your leg if you're holding on. Sit up tall, then one arm reaches forward, one arm reaches back, and we try to twist our chest open to this left side. For 3, for 2, for 1, and release it. Nice work. Both legs out front. Actually, I'm gonna do it from the side for this one. So both legs out front. Body should look very similar to an L. Toes towards the ceiling. We're gonna reach up. Right hand is going to be outside of your left foot. So we're twisting and reaching. This one's a little more fluid. Inhale, twisting and reaching. If you can get your chest really close to your knees, reach as far as you can. I have incredibly tight hamstrings, and I'm actually dealing with an injury in one of them. I'm not reaching as far, but I'm also not using my hands to pull or to help myself back up. Using that core, using those obliques. We have one more each side. Try to reach as far as you can and hold. Breathe. For 2. Reach a little bit further. And right back up. Arms come up. Arms are working here too. To the other side. Twist and reach. Breathe. For 2. And 1. Release it. Come down onto your back just for a moment. Hug your knees in. Rock your hips side to side. Maybe a little front and back. We go into one set of bicycles. Send your left leg long. Right leg will come close to your chest. Your shoulders are going to stay off the mat. Once we come up, our shoulders are going to stay up. So they're up here, hands ever so lightly behind your head, and we twist. Maybe lift the bottom leg. These are slow, so slow. Making those obliques work, not pulling on your head. Keep your shoulders off the mat by using your strong core. Excellent. Breathe. Notice our pace today, slower than usual. It really changes things. Changes our mind, changes our body, and definitely changes the exercise. One more each side, just as slow. And relax it. Hug your knees in, rock side to side, let your shoulders relax. Grab a quick sip of water, and we're going to meet right back into downward facing dog. Find stillness as soon as you can get there. And then on your next inhale, tiptoe your feet all the way up to meet your hands into this forward fold. If it's comfortable for you, big toes touch, tiny space between your heels. Maybe clasp your opposite elbows. Maybe sway side to side. And release your hands if you have them and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. Shoulders roll forward, up, and back at the top. We'll meet in mountain pose. Come back to your intention if you set one. Our main focus today, breath and twisting. We inhale up. We twist to the right. Arms come all the way down. Reach this right hand as far as you can to the other side of your body, and then right back up. And to the other side. Inhale up. And other side. Keeping the posture the whole time. Excellent. Squeeze through your glutes. Last one each side. So not pulling on this one, letting those obliques do all of the work. Last one this way. Inhale brings you up, exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale brings you halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank. Option here to add the Chaturanga, just to 90. Inhale, upward facing dog. This is not in your practice, we just meet in downward facing dog. Just for a breath. Hop, step, or jump, front of your mat. Inhale brings you halfway. Exhale brings you down. Inhale brings you all the way up. And right back down. Swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hop, step, or jump. Plank. If you're jumping, make sure you land with bent elbows. We all meet downward facing dog. We have one more just like that. Inhale brings you forward. Right back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hop, step, or jump. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. On your next inhale, we meet at the top of the mat, whatever that looks like for you. We inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Send your hips down and back like you're sitting in a tiny kindergarten chair. Hands are going to start at your hips. So really sink low. Sit back and then gaze down. Make sure you can see your toes. If you can't see your toes, your knees are too far forward, send them back. Okay, we can do a couple strength tests here. Go as low as you can. Low as you can. Low as you can. If it bothers your knees, don't go that low. Slowly come all the way up. Doing one more just like that. Hands stay high. Chest trying to stay lifted. Sink low, whatever low means to you. And right back up. And find your chair, maybe a little bit deeper than it was. Take your left elbow outside of your right knee, twisting chair. Press palms together. Press your right hand into your left and twist your chest open. Maybe your gaze goes towards the ceiling. Just for 3, sink lower, 2, and 1. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale brings you down. We got the other side. Inhale, chair. Find that low chair. Hands at heart center. This time, right elbow outside of your left leg. Press those hands together to find a nice deep twist. For 3, for 2, for 1. Forward fold. Step it, hop it, walk it back. Take it through your Chaturanga. A nice reset, and we make our way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Toes are towards the ceiling. Ceiling, really? Toes are towards the floor. There it is. Knee towards your chest. Step it up. Instead of going into warrior 1 like we would traditionally in a sun B, we're going to stay in crescent. So stay on your back toe. Here, make your way up to crescent. And you'll see why in a moment, why it makes more sense to be on your back toe. Right foot is forward, left leg is back. Strong bend through this front knee. Sweep your right hand down and back, left hand forward into this twist. Now the crescent makes sense. If your heel's grounded, it's going to be very tough to twist this way. Try to open your chest. Reach your hands as far as they'll go. 3, 2, 1. Curve your hands down. Plant your left. Reach with your right. Dragonfly twist. If you need to drop your back knee, drop your back knee if it's too much. For 3, 2, and 1. Drop your hands. Flow or no flow, we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high, toes towards the floor, knee towards your chest, and find your crescent. Make sure your feet are not on a balance beam, but they're more on railroad tracks. And come up. Deep bend through your front leg. Arms come up first. Find your crescent. Maybe you need to bend this back leg a little bit. Tuck your tailbone under, and then re-straighten. Then drop your left arm and revolve it to the back. Reach your right arm towards the front and retwist. Keep your deep bend through your front knee for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Right hand plants. Left hand goes high. Really straight and strong through your back leg. Dragonfly twist. Excellent. Bring it down. Chaturanga or not. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg high. I know it's the same leg. You'll see why in a moment. Step it through. And then turn yourself to the middle. Both toes face the same direction. Let your upper body hang just for a moment. Maybe reach out for the outsides of your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, put your hands on your hips. Slight bend in your knees. Flat back, stand all the way up. Let's wiggle your feet in a 1 heel toe. Turn your left foot out. We're going to find triangle pose. Maybe you need to adjust even a little bit more. And if you're using a prop, which I am today, move your prop so it's accessible. I'm using my box today. I'm going to bring the floor up to me so I don't sacrifice the posture and collapse onto my hand. Hands come up, both legs pretty straight. I like to keep a slight bend in my front leg because I tend to hyperextend and bend it backwards. It's not good for anybody. Reach it forward, reach it out front, and then you can reach it down. Keep your hand on the outside very light on your leg, and then twist open for this triangle. I'm going to show you with the prop today. I like to keep it on the inside, hand flat, and notice how much more I can open up. And that's what I mean about sacrificing the posture. It's great if you can touch the floor and keep your chest open, but most of us have to collapse here to reach the floor. And that's not the posture, and it's not good for your body either. It feels better to be open. Gaze is up if it's possible. We're going to reverse our triangle first. Come up and over. Legs stay the same. Arms come up and over. Stretch out this oblique. Now we're going to revolve it. Right hand comes down. I love a prop on this one. So my right hand comes down. I like to move my right leg out a little bit to the side so I can square my hips more. And then I twist. I revolve my triangle through my obliques. And maybe gaze up. This is a little bit more challenging too. And release it. Come back through center. Move your prop with you if you're using it. Bring it back to the other side. A 1 forward fold. This time, if you'd like a little more stretch in your shoulders, interlace your hands and bring them up over the top. If not, they can just hang at the floor. Hands come to hips and straight all the way up. We're going to turn our feet towards our right this time. Maybe kick your back foot in a little bit. Arms come up towards the side, hips shift back, arm reaches forward. Find yourself into this triangle pose. So nice straight line from my bottom arm, my base arm, all the way to the top. Making this line through my obliques long. We don't want to be here. We want this long. Excellent. Let's reverse it. Use your obliques to help you pull up and over the top and reach back and stretch your right side obliques. Time to revolve this. Left hand comes down. Right arm comes up. And start slow. Maybe it's just this. Maybe your hips just turn a little bit. Maybe your arm doesn't even come up. Slowly start to use your side body to twist and reach. If you've never done this with a prop before, you'll find this pose is a lot more accessible. If you stack a stack of books or a water bottle or a block, you can open up a lot more when you bring the floor to you. And release it back through the center one last time. Losing my box over here. There we go. One last time through the center. Hands to your hips. Come all the way up. And then just find yourself onto the mat. Maybe hop your feet together or sit right back down. Coming down into a bridge pose. Heels close to your glutes, not touching, but just so maybe your hands can graze them. So do one posture today, you do not twist in. Hips come high. Hands can interlace underneath, or just kind of robot arms pressing through your triceps to get your hips a little bit higher. Make sure your knees aren't turning out or falling in. We're just here once, so we're going to hold a little bit longer than usual. If you need a break, come down, come right back up. Try to make sure your chest is lifting and your chin is lifting off your chest. Can your hips lift a little bit higher for 3 more breaths. Come down nice and slow. We'll find ourselves into a happy baby. Grab the outside of your calves or the outside of your feet, or maybe your big toes, knees bend, feet flex, like you're going to leave a footprint on the sky. You might feel good to rock side to side. Always a huge fan in this one of a little bit of movement. Maybe stretch out one leg and then another. And then gently release it. Knees come into your chest. Drop your knees to the right. Gaze to the left. Easy spinal twist. And other side. Knees go to the left. In any variation you'd like. Arm reaches to the right, head goes to the right. Spinal twist. Back to the center. One last squeeze. Everything tucks in. Inhale. Exhale. Release it all. Long on your space. Arms by your side. Palms face the heavens. Shavasana. Let go of your breath control. Let go of your thoughts just for a moment. Begin to notice the sounds around you again. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And with a big inhale, arms reach overhead, as if it's our first breath of the day. Roll onto one side, whatever works best for you. Eyes stay closed if you can help it. And when you're ready, slowly press up to a comfortable seat. Hands come to heart center. Return to that intention if you set one in the beginning of practice. Thank yourself for doing this for yourself today, taking this time to work on your body and your mind. Thumbs come to your third eye, that space between your eyebrows, that site of intuition. I hope you enjoyed this twisting practice today. It's my honor to guide you through it. Namaste.